Hello everyone. Our today's topic is sustainable development. Today we will study about these following topics: introduction, definition, how sustainability works, objectives of sustainable development, pillars of sustainable development, goals and importance of sustainable development. Introduction. The term sustainable development first came to prominence in the World Conservation Strategy in 1980. It achieved a new status with the publication of two significant reports by Brundtland on North and South, a program for survival and common crisis, 1985, and our common future, and has gained even greater attention since the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, UNCED, held in Rio de Janeiro in June 1992. Definition of sustainable development. Sustainable development can be defined as an approach to the economic development of a country without compromising with the quality of the environment for future generations. In the name of economic development, the price of environmental damage is paid in the form of land degradation, soil erosion, air and water pollution, deforestation, etc. This damage may surpass the advantages of having more quality outputs of goods and services. How sustainability works. Sustainability encourages the business to frame decisions in terms of environmental, social, and human impact for the long term rather than the short term gains, such as next quarter's earnings report, which influences them to consider more factors than simply the immediate profit or loss involved. Increasingly, companies have issued sustainability goals such as commitment to zero waste packaging by a certain year or to reduce overall emissions by a certain percentage. These companies can achieve their sustainability needs by cutting emissions, lowering the energy usage, sourcing products from fair trade organizations, and ensuring their physical waste is disposed of properly and with as small a carbon footprints as possible. Now, objectives of sustainable development. Economic growth, environmental protection, and social inclusion are the three objectives of sustainable development. As you can see in the Venn diagram, the three objectives are depicted. Pillars of sustainable development. There are three pillars in sustainable development. First, social, second, environment, and third, economy. Now, here you can see the Sustainable Development Goals, that is 17 goals to transform our world. First, no poverty. Second, zero hunger. Third, good health and well being. Fourth, quality education. Fifth, gender equality. Sixth, clean water and sanitation. Seventh, affordable and clean energy. Eighth, decent work and economic growth. Ninth, industrial innovation and infrastructure. Tenth, reduced inequalities. 11th, sustainable cities and communities. 12. Responsible consumption and production. 13. Climate action. 14. Life below water. 15th. Life on land. 16. Peace, justice, and strong institutions. 17th. Partnerships for the goals. So these are the 17 goals to transform our world. The importance of sustainable development. First, provides essential human needs. The explosion of population means people will have to scramble for the limited life essentials like food, shelter, and water. Adequate provision for these basic needs almost entirely hinges on infrastructure capable of sustaining them for a long time. If governments insist on utilizing fossil fuel based sources of energy instead of renewable and sustainable options, the cost and environment effects of supplying these basic needs would become a tall order. Second, agriculture requirement. A growing population means agriculture must catch up. Finding ways to find more than 3 billion people can be staggering. If the same unsustainable cultivation, planting, irrigation, spraying, and harvesting techniques are utilized in the future, they might prove to be financially burdening considering fossil fuels resources are projected to run out. Sustainable development focuses on sustainable agriculture methods such as effective seeding, techniques, and crop rotation to promote high yields while maintaining the integrity of the soil, which produces food for a large population. Third, manage climate change. Climate change can be mitigated by sustainable development practices. Sustainable development practices seeks to reduce the use of fossil-based sources of fuel like oil, natural gas, and coal. Fossil fuel sources of energy are unsustainable since they will deplete in the future and are responsible for the emission of greenhouse gases. Fourth, financial stability. Sustainable development practices have the ability to create more financially sustainable economies across the globe. Developing countries that cannot access fossil fuels can leverage renewable forms of energy to power their economies. From the development of renewable energy technologies, these countries can create sustainable jobs as opposed to finite jobs based on fossil fuel technologies. Fifth, sustain biodiversity. Unsustainable development and overconsumption practices greatly impact biodiversity. The life ecosystem is designed in such a way that species depend on one another for survival. For instance, plants produce oxygen that humans need for respiration. Humans exhale carbon dioxide that performs need for growth and production. Unsustainable development practices like emission of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere kill many plant species, resulting in the reduction of atmospheric oxygen. So this was it for today's video lecture. Please go through all the slides, the whole video if you do not understand the concept well. Thank you so much for today's video. Meet you in the next video. Thank you.